We are back. We are back. Like Drake. We back. Um, and my apologies. It's been a minute since we've been live. We college students midterm week.
Oh yeah.
Crowded school where I'm stressed, but we back with the boys. I'm Big Jacob Brazy, Big J. Got my boy Big Maz and Big Ant. Man, what's going
You're,
What's good, Big
let's
J,
go,
bro? You a
boys. How
clown
we?
for that one. I
You
love it though.
already
We back with another one.
another one.
You already know
DJ
what it
Khaled,
is. You already know what
DJ
it is.
Khaled, DJ Maz.
You already know what it is.
He looks like
Shout out
DJ
my boy
Khaled.
the
We always say
weekend
it.
for his new song, Moth to a Flame. That shit fire. The weekend, my boy. Shout him out real quick.
Everything. But fellas, we got a lot to cover tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So listen, it's that time of the year, my favorite time of the year, outside of the World Cup. The beginning of basketball is always the most exciting day for me, just because the NBA is the only league where players switch teams more than I switch shirts. I Everybody's all over the place, and this we can finally see what's going on. Anthony, let's start with your Brooklyn Nets, man. And what happened?
I
We saw
mean,
them take the L.
yeah. I mean, I watched the first three quarters. I didn't watch the last quarter. Actually, that's not true. I watched the whole thing. I was thinking about the Laker game. Laker game. I watched the first three quarters, but I think that the loss of Kyrie is very apparent in that first game. I mean, when your third scoring option is not there and you're playing a very defensive oriented team, you're not going to get the best results. But I liked what I saw from Harden the first half. He sort of cooled down. I really liked what I saw from Patty Mills. That man could shoot lights out when he's on. KD was okay.
Patty
Blake,
had a
what you said?
Said Patty had a tough night, man. He went for 21 points. I didn't see that coming. 7 of 11. He went 7 for 7 from threes. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
he was shooting like that's what I'm saying. He was shooting lights out. I mean, I think we definitely need a better defensive lineup out there. I think we could have used Andre Drummond, but he's in Philly now. Speaking of which, Nets are playing Philly right now. I think they're down by 9 at the moment. But yeah, but that first night, the Nets just don't have anyone that could guard Giannis. That's the big issue. I mean, when you got that 6'10", 6'11" guy coming right down the middle, there's no one that can step up. I mean, KD's not a great defensive player, and Giannis got way more muscle mass than him, so he can easily just body him. So we just don't have that. They tried Nick Claxton at it, and Nick Claxton just was not doing anything against him. He was
Yeah, I'm
getting
looking at yeah, I'm
pummeled.
looking at the box score. KD had 32 points. Griffin had 6 points. Claxton had 12. Harris had 9, and Carter had 20. The only help from the bench was, like you said, Patty Mills. I mean, I was doing some schoolwork, but I kind of caught the game like last minute. I mean,
Got
and
no
I
depth.
was I was seeing Giannis dunk I was seeing Giannis dunk, and I think he had 32 points. Mills had 20. Lopez had 8. Holly had 12, and Grayson Allen had 10. So I mean, obviously, I feel like Kyrie would be a big boost to the team, but hey, it is what it is.
Here's the thing. I'm not worried about the Nets. They got two of the top 10 players in the league. They're not going to be down for long. I think they definitely could use Kyrie, but I don't think it's the end of the world. They're going to be facing easier competition up ahead. They're going to get their wins. They're going to get their confidence back. I mean, they're playing Philadelphia tonight. Embiid's looked good so far from what I've been watching. No Ben Simmons tonight, which we all expected. Yeah, no, but I don't. I'm not too worried about the Nets. I think they're not going to be too bad moving forward.
They'll win some games for sure. They'll make the playoffs and slide in there. But I'm telling you, man, I said it before. They have no bench. They got Patty Mills, apparently. He did it. Can Patty Mills put up 21 points like that every night? I don't think so. In Brooklyn for sure. They need to get it together. Kyrie, obviously, I don't think we're gonna see him for the season. It'd be nice if he did come back. But at the end of the day, man, we've already seen teams that have 2 stars. Obviously, like the Clippers. I don't think Paul George is a top 10 player, but he's up there, and we see what happens when you have a lack of depth and you have a lack of a big man. They got Serge Ibaka over there with the Clippers, but when's he ever really injured? It's basically the same situation, just with 2 better stars. Um, I should say two better because I think Kawhi, when healthy, is the second I just named. But man, Brooklyn should be better. I don't like the depth, man. I don't think it's gonna be enough. And then you get some big man help in there because what are you gonna do when you're facing the Embiids, you're facing the Giannis's, you're facing the Anthony Davis? Like, good luck with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
healthy Anthony Davis. Like he's looking pretty good. Anthony Davis, man, getting rebounds, and I feel like he's healthy. But speaking of players, man, how do y'all feel about? So I think yesterday, so it's the 75th season, the 75th annual, list came out. Any surprises? Any snubs? Y'all think? You got Klay Thompson got voted off. You got Dwight Howard. Obviously, when you're making a list like that, it's hard to put 75 players on a list, and um, obviously LeBron made it, Damian Lillard, Steph Curry. Like, who do y'all think should have made the top 75? And how do y'all feel about that? Let's go with Big Mass first, man.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. Dwight Howard was the biggest snub I've ever seen in my life. I'm a big Anthony Davis guy, but what has Anthony Davis really accomplished so far, man? In terms of Dwight Howard, we're talking about multiple defensive player of the years. Dwight's got the same ring that Anthony Davis has, even though that Davis played a bigger part of winning that championship. But to me, the 75th should be about legacy. And there's some guys on there that I think there was a recency bias with. I think Anthony Davis shouldn't be on it. I love Anthony Davis, my favorite big man in the game right now, especially me being a Lakers fan. Damian Lillard is one of the most exciting players I've ever seen in my life. But did Damian Lillard deserve to be like Tracy McGrady, who actually won a scoring championship and actually has accomplished something? Dame ain't really do much yet. He's got a couple of all-stars. We know he's been snubbed a couple of times, but is Dame a top 75 player of all time? I don't know. So to me, those two are the biggest left outs. Oh, and I got to be honest. I think Ben Wallace should be on that list too. Just looking at some of the names, Ben Wallace, multiple defensive player of the year. So to me, I would have liked to see those three on there. I don't know when he was playing on Boston. I don't know if Paul Pierce is better than some of the names I just mentioned. Obviously, you can debate skill, but we're talking about, to me, it's resume, right? And there's a couple of guys that I think have just done a little more, man. And I think Dwight is the biggest one. So disrespectful.
Yeah.
Before
it. Oh, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Was that you forgot someone? Vince Carter.
Oh yeah.
Where was Vince Carter on that list?
Big snub, man.
I mean, he played for over 20 years. I mean, I think he's in the top 20 in 3-point shooting. I think he's definitely in the top 30 in scoring all time. I mean, he didn't get that ring, but he was in that 15-year stretch from, was it 99 to I think probably 2011 maybe. He was a top 15 player in the league every year. And he was definitely one of the more dominant players of his era. And I think he should have been, and of course, in the 2000s, which is probably one of the most tougher eras in basketball. And to be a top 15 player throughout that era, he definitely should have been in the top 75. And I think it's sort of a travesty that he's not.
Are y'all shocked? Well, before I bring it, I was surprised, like Klay Thompson. I mean, I know, like, he knew he was missed, like, a couple of seasons with that injury, but like when healthy, like he's probably one of the, like, up with Curry. He's probably one of the top shooters with Curry. I'm surprised he was snubbed. I'm not sure who came out, but someone said Kyrie should have made top that list, but I don't know about that. As terms of skill, like, maybe Brandon, like you said, skill and resume, but skill, I mean, he's a skill point guard, but I feel like overall resume, like, I don't know.
To me, Klay Thompson is a bigger snub than Kyrie Irving. I think Kyrie is a very talented player, but when we're talking about Klay Thompson, we're talking about a man who's been the second best player, quite frankly, the Pippen to Curry's Jordan. Second greatest shooter in league history. I'll take him over Reggie Miller, to be honest with you. I'll take him over Ray Allen and I need one. Klay Thompson, we always talk about how Curry revolutionized the game and it going to a three ball. everybody shooting the three. Well, Klay Thompson literally is the definition of 3 and D guy. I can't think of anybody that does it better than him. My man scored 60 points just off of 11 dribbles, for crying out loud. When he is healthy, he is locked down, and any team would love to have him. Any team. He's a compliment for any star. And quite frankly, I think I forgot to mention him. I think that was a big snub too, especially him having the multiple contributing to the dynasty that was the Golden State Warriors.
Well, I mean, moving on. We should probably move on from that. You guys talked about the Nets earlier. You were ready to bash the Nets. Let's talk about them Lakers real quick, you Lakers fans.
Here we go.
Dude, don't even get me started, all right? That was the most pitiful performance I've ever seen in my life out of Russell Westbrook. Our bench was absolutely just – you know who was the shining moment of that entire game?
Oh.
Avery Bradley, who made 2 days before off the Warriors practice squad. We saw Steph Curry and Draymond was very upset that they were losing that veteran presence, and he was annoying as hell for Steph Curry to go against. He was just playing lockdown, hitting them open threes, and just doing exactly what you expect Avery Bradley to be doing. LeBron James, though, I give a lot of – even though I'm a Lakers fan, I don't give LeBron James enough credit some days. LeBron looked like he turned the clock back to South Beach 2012.
Oh, yeah, he had the 6 and the headband back on, too.
Dude.
He looked scary, man.
The 6, the headband was bulky. He looked more agile. He didn't look tired like we saw him in the playoffs. But I'm going to be honest, man. Y'all see that 3? Oh my God, he was shooting better than Curry out there. Curry had an off night. Dude, he was just splashing it. My father's looking at me like, who is this man? I said, that's South Beach LeBron. All right. I don't know what he did, but he brought it back. Anthony Davis did his thing as we expect him to. And those two alone, when they're healthy, can get us to the finals, for crying out loud. Russell Westbrook, I believe, went 3 for 11. Really, they did exactly what you need to do against Russell Westbrook, and that's just kind of frustrate him and get him to, try to do a little too much. Sometimes he's his own worst enemy. But if Russ can pull it together, and which I definitely think he can, this team, especially with Kyrie being out, this is the team to beat. I'm telling you. Obviously, we got some growing pains. We also have to remember there's 3 players that were on the roster last year. Braun, Anthony Davis, and THT, Taylor Horton Tucker. All right. Outside of them, everybody was not here. Obviously part of the championship team, the last championship team, but still a year removed. They're definitely getting new rotations, new game plans. You got to figure out a new flow. Am I right? So let's let the growing pains, come. But as long as they stay healthy, this is still the team to beat. Absolutely. Big J, I know you a Lakers fan, dog. What you think?
I definitely agree, man. Like, I'm looking at the stats right now. AD had 33 points off of 15, 26 from the field. He was 1 for 5 from the 3-point line. LeBron, like you said, old South Beach, Miami vibes, 34 points with 13 for 23 from the field goal, 5 for 11 from the 3-point, 11 rebounds, double-double. AD was a double-double. And I don't know, people are just so quick to be like, oh, the Lakers they look bad. Like Russell Westbrook, it was trash. But like, it was only the first game of the season. Oh, we gotta talk about Carmelo. He looked pretty good too, like 9 points off the bench. First couple of shots. Yeah, I think it's just. I mean, I think they play the Suns tonight, right? That's the 10:30 game, right? Yeah. Yep. So I mean, I want to see them play against the team that knocked them out of the playoffs. So I mean, that'll be a good matchup tonight. But like, yeah, I think it's. I mean, even for Ants Brooklyn Nets, it's just too early, man. Obviously, we have the free agency coming up, or the trade deadline later in the season, so teams can shake it up. But yeah, I mean, as a whole, like in the first half, we did pretty good. Second half, I mean, Russell was just shooting like bricks and bricks and bricks, and we all know he's not a shooter. He likes to penetrate the paint and dunk. But I mean, obviously that comes with chemistry and time. So I mean, they gotta. I mean, I'm not gonna say panic time yet. I would say by like Christmas, the Christmas game. They should definitely be better. But I mean, like we were up what like 10 against the Warriors, and then Curry was going off, man. And then he got pulled. He got that what's his name?
Damian Lee.
Damian Lee, and then
Yeah.
what's their center? The
Looney.
no, his name is
Wiseman.
no. I'm sorry if I butchered his name. Nemanja Balenciaga, the
Yeah.
center.
I'm not even gonna attempt that, man. That was a unique name right there. But
the yellow guy, I think.
Sheesh.
yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna just
He was going
mess
off,
it up.
but yeah, I mean, I think it's just too early to. I'm not sweating over the loss. I mean,
You know what I will say though, yo, I was a little disappointed. I saw DeAndre Jordan that first offensive possession. He caught the lob, put it in there. I was like, oh, already looking better for us than he ever did for the Brooklyn Nets. And then my man got killed in the paint the rest of the game, to be honest with you. So they're gonna need some help down there in the paint. Obviously they got Dwight and AD, but man,
I don't know.
DeAndre Jordan got a role to play, and he better start learning how to play it. Otherwise, we are screwed.
I don't know, man. Big man. I don't know. Is this your man James Foti? Lakers washed. It's the next time, man.
James Foti.
Give it up for the Knicks.
Let me show the comment, man.
Shout out James. Listen, fellas, James P.
Oh man.
Foti, my dog. I met him when I was working down there. That is the most genuine guy ever. But my man is the biggest the biggest Knicks fan I've ever met in my life, to be honest with you. My man loves the Knicks more than anybody that I personally know. I know a lot of Knicks fans out there, but I'm talking the Knicks legitimately affect my man's mood. James, I'm going to say this one time, so enjoy it. The Knicks looked amazing last game out. Kemba Walker need to get it together. But Evan Fournier, shout out Evan Fournier. I've been telling Knicks fans that's a great pickup. He balled out, put up over 30 points for them in that win against Boston. They held Jason Tatum to an awful shooting night, and he was just kept on trying to force too much. It was really sad to see. But Julius Randle and the Knicks, they did work. I expect them to do work all season because this is a team that even when they are awful offensively, they got that defensive-minded coach in Thibodeau. You know they play lockdown defense. They get guys who aren't known to play defense to buy in and play defense. So shout out the Knicks. They're really excited. They're on my top 3 teams. And quite frankly, if I'm a Knicks fan, which thank God I'm not, but if I was a Knicks fan, I'm excited to see what comes. But Kemba Walker needs to start being a little better. Big Kemba guy, would love to see it. And what do you think, man?
I didn't catch any of the Celtic Knicks game the other night, but I'm just looking at the stat line right now. I mean, you got Fournier with 32, like you said, Randall 35, and then Mitchell Robinson 17 boards. When you got a guy including the glass like that, I mean, you're in good hands. And of course, we were talking about Thibodeau. We talk about all that, like either like guys who just weren't panning out for other teams, and they all just come to New York now, and they're just starting to become a better unit altogether. I think the Knicks are definitely, if they keep this like mentality up, they could definitely make their way into a top 3 seed this year in the East. It's still too early to call, though. I mean, you got a lot of good teams in the East this year, but what we saw the other night, I'm very confident in saying that the Knicks could be a top 3 seed going forward.
See, like, but I got like a little problem with the Knicks, like these New York fans, man, because I feel like it was a good win, double overtime win, but New York Giants, New York Jets, New York Knicks, one game, and people are going buck wild, man. I mean, no, but don't get me wrong.
Hey, we're Yankees fans. We do this stuff too.
Hey, yeah. Facts. But like, there was an Instagram post I saw. People were going, wow, like Cuomo, the governor. Yeah, Knicks won. That was overtime. Cuomo, we got De Blasio as the governor. Knicks, like, bro, Knicks fans, chill out. But no, they're looking good. My boy Emmanuel quickly going off. D Rose going off. Knicks are looking pretty good this year, man. It's crazy to say. Just like I hate to say, like the Browns are doing, like, you know. But like, you know, Knicks, I mean, go win. I feel like they can come out the East, like, or close to it. If they they got a well-rounded coach in Tom Thibodeau, like my boy Ant said. Allen Robinson, which they missed last year. I think he was injured. That was a big piece that they were missing last year. If you have the center like grabbing boards like that and some shooters, and they're in good hands. But Knicks fans, pump the brakes, man.
Yeah, here's the thing. You said that they could come out of these. I need to see more playoff wins out of
Oh, for
Thibodeau.
sure, for sure, for
Thibodeau has
sure.
never been a guy that excels in the playoffs. I think he needs to get at least a few playoff series wins under his belt before we can tell definitely that the Knicks are coming out of these. I don't think they're going to come out of these this year. Maybe next year if they can get a good free agent signing, but not this year.
Dude, they're doing work there right now. But like I said, Kemba got to be better. They're getting everybody playing basketball. Everybody, even if you don't like the Knicks, you like to see the Knicks be competitive because then at least gives you someone to hate on that's actually worth hating on. Am I right? I mean, James Dolan still, don't care what everybody says, worst owner in the NBA right now. Just for past instances, we don't even need to get into that right now. But that front office with Leon Rose is doing work. Mitchell Robinson coming back healthy, looking really good. And quite frankly, the Knicks are looking pretty deadly. They looked better to me than the Miami Heat did, to be honest with you. Although might be back. My man dropped 27 points, 10 of 18, 4 from 8 from 3, putting in that work. I've never seen somebody turned on so fast. From a fan base, we're going, this is our guy. We love this kid. He's the future. Has that sophomore slump that we know always happens. Never seen a kid get so much hate in my life. But now looking like he might be back. I expect we're going to be hearing the same thing from Miami fans that we're accustomed to hearing from Knicks fans of we got the best player, bop, bop, bop. But I'm going to be honest, those guys, Miami and the Knicks, meet up in the playoffs down the line. And I think it legitimately comes down to how their point guards are playing. I think that matchup is legitimately going to end up Kyle Lowry versus Kemba Walker. I think history would let us say Kyle Lowry in the playoffs, but Kemba's a dog, man. I cannot wait to see that matchup. I hope we get that.
Like you can't forget about my boy from Duke, like RJ Barrett too, man. He had 19 points. I mean, subpar in the shooting department, but had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and so you can't forget about him either, man. Like he's going off too, man. So
well, if you look at the teams, right? Because I'm expecting, I'm calling it right now. I think we're gonna see a matchup. I think we're gonna be looking at the 4th and 5th seed with Miami and the Knicks. To be completely honest with y'all, if you look at the matchups, you got RJ and Jimmy. I think Jimmy wins that. You got Julius Randle and Bam Adebayo. I think that can actually go either way, but I'm actually going to give it to Julius Randle because he played defender, but Julius is definitely the better scorer. So I got to lean with Julius there. I think Evan Fournier and Tyler Hero actually are very similar to each other. Fournier, they're both looking great right now. But to be honest with you, I don't trust either one of them to stay this hot. So I think both of them are right around 16 points per game is right where they should be, kind of balance each other out. I think this matchup legitimately comes down to Kyle Lowry versus Kemba Walker. History would tell me Kyle Lowry, but Kemba's home. He's got he's buying in, he's playing defense. Let's see what happens, man. If it comes down to it, Ant, what do you think, man?
If we're talking about the Knicks and the Heat matchups, I would like to see the bench. I think the bench is the key factor in this. Look at the Knicks bench. You got Derrick Rose, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly. Like those are 3 guys that come off the bench and they can be X factors every given night. Any given night they can come in and they can definitely be a guy that can factor in this one. And then Miami, I mean, you got Markieff Morris coming off the bench. I think. Who else? They got is Oladipo starting, or is he coming off the bench?
Is he back from injury? I thought he still had like that really bad injury.
Yeah, but he'll be back by the end of the year, though. That's what I'm saying.
I think he's back.
But if he's not, well, he'll be coming off the bench probably, right?
They picked up PJ Tucker though.
PJ Tucker and Duncan Robinson. So I think the bench for Miami is also very stacked. So I think this is more of a decision based on depth. I think the Heat probably have a little bit more edge in the bench right now, but as I told you, the Obi Toppin and Derrick Rose, they could be 2 guys that can come off the bench and become X factors for that team. And who knows, maybe any given night, man. We know what happens in basketball.
So are y'all still so obviously we know Ben Simmons wherever he's gonna play. What do y'all put the Sixers like in the playoff mix? Because obviously Joel Embiid still going off. Carrying like anchoring the team. Just came out the news came out that Ben first, he was at practice, got kicked out of practice because he had a freaking attitude, and then he now came out to the team that is not mentally there. So where do y'all put the Sixers in this mix, man? Like,
I think they're the third best team, even with the loss of Ben Simmons. I think if Joel Embiid stays healthy, they got some quality players there. It's a solid lineup. Nobody really talks about Tobias Harris as much as they should. The kid's quality. Seth Curry has really come into his own. Obviously, he's always going to be in his brother's shadow because I don't think the kid's ever MVP like his brother was. But that kid is still one of the best shooters in the NBA right now. They're having solid rotations. JoJo, in my opinion, might be the best center in the NBA. Some nights it's between him and Jokic. Obviously, when you factor in other big men, including Giannis and Anthony Davis, he's still in that top 4 spot for me. JoJo's a quality player, man. He's dominant. I think he is a glaring hole for the Brooklyn Nets. So for me, I think Brooklyn's still going to be that number 1 seed, number 2, and I think Philadelphia is going to be that 3rd seed, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And then 4th and 5th is up to the Knicks in Miami. Let's see how that plays out. Really interested.
It just came out, I think, the other day that Daryl Morey, because people want to either see Ben stay or leave, and Daryl Morey came out saying that this process can take 4 years. So I want to get y'all's hot takes on this. Like, so 4 years, man, like of this roller coaster with the 76ers, and like, what do you think about? Do you see them playing Ben Simmons this year, like to get his stock up, or do you see them, taking that 4 years?
No, I don't think they want to risk like the team chemistry at the moment by pulling in like a volatile guy like Ben Simmons into the lineup, because the Sixers are a playoff team, and you throw in a guy like that who's Joel Embiid's already talked to the media saying that he doesn't care about him anymore, and he's sort of trashed Ben in the media. So when you add a guy like that into the mix with your team who's sort of turning their backs on him, I just don't. The play's going to go down. The team chemistry is going to go down. And I don't think the front office or the coaching staff wants that. Maz, what do you think?
Dude, I got to be honest with you. I'm so sick of hearing about this damn Ben Simmons thing. How dare you? How dare you, Ben Simmons, act like this prima donna? You ain't done nothing. You're a 3-time All-Star because your team was winning games. Your team was winning games because of you and Joel Embiid. But Joel Embiid was definitely the Batman of that situation. You the Robin. Get over it. All right? You haven't done nothing. You need to be better, man. I don't know. This, like we said, I said it in a previous episode. They've given you everything you needed to succeed, so you didn't feel threatened and got more touches, for crying out loud. They've given you your time. They should have, quite frankly, they could have fined you more than what they did. They chose to take it a little easy on you. Your teammates, for whatever reason, still got your back, saying, hey, we'll take you back and open ours. But we're going to be, let's be honest, we already see Joel Embiid is like, dude, I'm sick of hearing about this. Tobias Harris is like, yo, we're going to work through it. But even he knows, bro, we're sick of hearing about this. We're all here for a common goal. Just get us somebody that can help us win. All right. We've already tarnished his value. He tarnished his, to be honest. So they need to figure it out. They're not going to get the entire, Taj Mahal for him, but they can get something. Bring in a piece that's going to help you win. But let's be honest, man, the faster that they get him out, the better. It's better for the team. It's better for the city. It's just better for the entire organization in general. He's got to go. The kid is nothing but cancer, and he's not even worth it, for crying out loud, man. This ain't LeBron James. Come on.
I mean, yeah, I agree. And but I think the reason why Daryl Morey says 4 years is because like many analysts in the NBA think that the reason why it might take that long is because Daryl Morey, if they trade him, they don't want no garbage player off the streets, man, or no garbage player, no bench player. Morey wants a James Harden-esque player, someone that can not James Harden, but like someone that can like another star to help and beat out, and that process can take a long time to find that right gym. But Ben Simmons, you better make a decision because Big Maz is angry and he will headbutt you with his bald head, man. So you better get your act together because Big Maz is angry.
Yo, Big J. Come on, my big hair, bro. You got that hair protected, and we already see you, dog. Come on now. But listen, legitimately, here's the thing, yo, right? Like I said, I got the dog crying over here because we mentioned Ben Simmons.
Oh yeah. Whenever we mention Ben Simmons,
Again, I know, big fella, I hear you.
Kyrie or Ben
need
Simmons
to figure
man.
it out, yo. Dude, both of them need to go. But that's the thing. Daryl Morey thinks he's going to end up getting James Harden for this, bro, when he needs to figure it out. And just, dude, you might just got to take CJ McCollum and figure it out, man.
I agree. I mean, I'm in the same boat as Maz. It's this. I'm tired of talking about this guy. This is the third podcast in a row we've had to sit down and talk about this man. Enough's enough.
See, I thought he flew back to Philly. I think it would be all peaches and cream.
It was not.
Come to find out, it was not. I saw an Instagram video. I think it was like they were in practice and like they're in the team huddle, and Ben was in the back, just like not even involved with the team, man. Like,
Yeah,
lazy on defense, lazy on not defense in the freaking drill, man.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing his work in the defensive drills. They're acting. He doesn't. Looking at that video, it seemed like he didn't want to be there. And
dude, he's a bum. He's a cancer, Big J. Of course he doesn't want to be there. He just wants to get paid to do. He would much rather be playing in a soft market, wherever the hell he wants to go. Philly's too hard for him. We get it, big fella. Get to step in. We're sick of talking about you. Philly's sick of talking about you. The 76ers are sick of talking about you. Quite frankly, I'd take a bag of popcorn for Ben Simmons right now. Obviously, that's not completely true. But seriously, though, I would take somebody of lesser value that I know that's going to contribute to winning. Obviously, I'm not going to get a James Harden for him. Big J, correct me if I'm wrong. Would you right now, if you're the 76ers, would you not take CJ McCollum in a second?
To be honest, I mean, I would. I would because he's a good shooter. Yeah, I would. I mean, if I was the owner of the team, I would take anyone, maybe like a tier 2, tier 1, anybody. I'll take my imaginary dog. Shut up, Ben Simmons, man. But I mean, he's a good player, phenomenal in the paint, but his mental state is not there, man. And I feel like you're a waste of space on this roster, man.
The problem with this whole
I was saying like the problem like Matt said before on our podcast, it's a roster of 15. And like Ben is a waste of a roster spot, right?
Bro,
now.
Let me put it to you this way, right? AC, you're gonna love this one. Ben Simmons is the leader of the NBA right now. My man has not accomplished that much, had some hype around him for a couple of seasons, and is already walking around like he just single-handedly won 4 championships. You ain't done nothing yet. Get your head out of your ass and keep it moving. AC, what do you think, man?
The problem with this Ben Simmons situation is that they use a first overall pick for him. And the Sixers drafting these last 10 years, it's been so up and down. Like, you get Simmons, then you get Embiid, but then you draft guys like Markelle Fultz and Nerlens Noel. It's just such a mixed bag with this team's drafting that they're like, we finally got a first overall pick that gave us some decent value. We're going to want anything we can get out of this guy. And his stock, and the problem is his stock is so low, and they don't want to admit that his stock's so low that they're just not going to trade him for anything. They're just going to let him sit there and waste, which I think is kind of stupid. I mean, if you can get a late first round pick for him, I take it, because you could at least get some young talent that you could possibly throw in the G League or you could throw on your bench. I mean, I think it's sort of a stupid decision. I mean, they're trying to play for this year, which I mean they should, but they're not going to get anything from this year.
It looks awful, man. They keep on saying trust the process, trust the process. Well, here's the new process. Pack up his bags and ship them already. All right? That's the process. Get the bags packing, keep it moving. On to the next one. Obviously, you can't just take, somebody that's not going to contribute to winning because he's still a good asset. But, somebody's going to get a steal for this guy. You just don't want to get completely robbed. But you got to bring in something, whether it's a CJ McCollum or that tier of player. You just need someone that's going to contribute to the winning because they have all the pieces right now. It's just the problem is with his actions the way that they are. Ben Simmons is an idiot, man. If he wanted to leave Philly, what he should have done is told Philly, yo, get me the hell up out of here. I'll come to practice. I'll still look good. I'm going to keep my stock up for you guys. So this way we can get me out of here as fast as possible. But no, he chose the child route. He did the dumbest thing possible. I don't want to be here. I'm not going to come to practice. I'm only going to show up to practice because you guys are starting to find me right now. I'm going to freak out because you're finding me, even though I'm not doing my job, which is literally to show up and play basketball. Good one, big fella, you stupid. I can't stand it, man. But here's the thing, right? If you would have just came in and did your job, they wouldn't. Everybody would have been happy. But he just played it the wrong way, man. And now we're seeing it backfire. What do you expect to happen? Of course, they're not going to take a bag of peanuts for you, but they got to get something. But they're asking way too much. So both sides need to come to a compromise. He's got to start showing up. He's got to stop being a headache when he actually does show up. Do your thing, get your stock value back up, and get the hell out of there so we don't have to talk about this no more.
Yeah, like for real.
Love it, man. Love it, man. Man, get the water in your
Throw that bottle of water in your head, man. You gotta cool down.
Yeah. So
I mean,
hopefully with the next installment of this podcast, we don't have to talk about Ben Simmons on the next podcast. Hopefully not. We'll try to get that out, put that out the notes. Hopefully. But yeah, anything else you want to talk about in the NBA?
The next thing that I want to talk about with Ben Simmons, the next thing I wanted to say, Ben Simmons traded for Colin Sexton to Cleveland. All right. I don't want him ending up somewhere nice. I don't want him in California. Yeah. I don't want him anywhere. He wouldn't go to Miami, but he doesn't deserve to go to any nice climates. All right. I know he's from Australia. He likes that warm weather. I hope he ends up somewhere that is the most miserable city in America for sports. All right. He deserves nothing but the worst for the way that he's traded the great city of Philadelphia. I don't even like Philly. All right. City. I don't even like Philly in terms of sports. All right. But as a city, it's a dope city. They got a dope, loyal fan base. They got the greatest cheesesteaks on the face of the planet. Second, second best, obviously, is Jersey. But in the history of cheesesteaks, I love a good cheesesteak. We all know it's Philly. Got some awesome mascots. We see the hockey dude. I forget his name. Grimer, something like that. He's awesome. The Philly Fanatic is awesome. They got great sports history in Philly. The fans don't deserve this. And I'm going to be honest. I'm a Cowboys fan. I don't care about Philly, man. But it's always better when the bigger cities do better, let's be honest, because it gets people more involved. It gets fan entrance up. It gets bigger names to those cities. Who wouldn't want to play in Philly if you love sports?
You forgot Meek Mill as well.
Sports, for crying out loud. I'm sick of talking about it. I hope he ends up somewhere like I literally hope he ends up in Cleveland. That's literally where I'm praying at. He shows up, and man, I can't do this.
Man, your dog must hate Ben Simmons, man.
Yeah,
someone's walking outside the dog, dude. Someone's walking outside. They just go nuts. I apologize.
He's going off about Ben Simmons, man.
Dude, my dog hates Ben Simmons. Every time we talk about him, he gets
Kyrie.
a little aggressive. Dude, he hears Kyrie, starts crying. I mean, for crying out loud, who wouldn't though?
All right. Well, should we start?
I guess my dog just really appreciates that, and the Philly fans. He feels it. But
I think
I can't do this anymore. But moving on, fellas.
Yeah, move on to football. Ready?
Before we get to football, we here, we are not sexist. We appreciate all athletes. And let's shout it out to that WNBA championship CP3. CP3.
Phoenix lost both. Phoenix lost both.
Oh man, Phoenix
Yeah.
lost both, bro. CP3, Candace Parker, and them girls saw them get the parade today. That was just it was awesome, man. You know, we don't talk about the WNBA as much as we low key should.
right.
I'm sure there's some great podcasts out there that we got some full coverage. We just got too many leagues to cover, man. You know how it works. So it's insane. But shout out to the Chicago Sky. Shout out to CP3. That's awesome, man.
Very, very awesome. Yeah, thank you for bringing that. I didn't watch the game, but I saw it on social media and everything, and like,
I got the shirt on right now.
Mm-hmm.
I got the shirt on right now. I was actually at the opening game for the New York Liberty. Sabrina Ionesco hit a triple double, hit the game winning buzzer beater 3. Honestly, man, the league is the epitome of fundamentals. If you want to see fundamental basketball, you watch the WNBA. We don't talk about these girls enough because, quite frankly, they're at the same spot that the NBA was at. You know, they're only 25 years deep. The NBA is already 75 years deep. They it's not going to be as big as the NBA, but let's not sleep on the talent that they got there. They got Ionesco, the chick Brittany Griner's awesome. Diana Taurasi is the GOAT, and CP3, Elena Deladon out there too. But CP3, Candace Parker is out here. She beat the GOAT. She beat the best women's big in the game. And that's all I got to say on that, man. Start watching the WNBA if you ain't up on it, man. Whenever you got some free time, it's the league to catch up.
That's good.
You love basketball. That's
what I'm confused about is like their leagues. Is it like is the WNBA like are they before the NBA season or are they like after it?
No, they're in the off season.
So they're in the NBA all season.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it. Yeah,
it's smart because if you love basketball, man, you're watching basketball year round.
Non-stop.
I watch the summer league, see the new talent coming in, but dude, I love basketball. I'm watching basketball year round. I will catch a couple of WNBA games. The key to it though, man, you got to learn some players because ain't nobody want to watch no game where they don't know nobody. You know what I mean?
Right,
and I think the WNBA needs to do a better job at marketing their players. I can't even remember the last time I saw a television ad for the league, to be honest with you. Fair. You know, but when you do watch it, man, it's a quality league. Shout out the WNBA. Once again, shout out the Chicago Sky and Candace Parker and them girls up there. They're doing work and just building the league, man. So let's give a round of applause right there for the WNBA and that shit. But moving on. And you got the hat on. We've been meaning to hear this for a long time.
They've been waiting for 2 weeks for this.
2 weeks. We apologize.
2 weeks. And now you're about to
college catch up, man.
Yeah, midterm suck.
College catch up, man. You know,
Lamar Jackson. Where do I start?
Just give it to us already.
Where do I start with this man? So we're coming in 3-1 record Monday night. Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis is 1-3. They're not that great. I mean, they got Jonathan Taylor. Carson Wentz is okay. Their defense is Darius Leonard. But they go up big. 21 points. It's 25-6. Or no, was it 24-3? 24-3, that's what it was. So most teams, when they're in that situation, they look, I'm down 24-3. It's time for me to throw in the towel, get ready for next week. Let's just play a good rest of the game, and then we'll shower up, and it's on to LA. Lamar Jackson, John Harbaugh, and the entire Ravens team went, no, this is still winnable. And Lamar had probably one of the greatest passing games of any quarterback ever to play the game of football. This man dropped back 44 times and had 37 completions. Never happened in the history of football. That is insane. Added on to his 4 touchdowns, and he wasn't even running the whole time. He only attempted 14 attempts for 62 yards. The Colts took out his legs on last Monday night. He just did it with his arm solely, and he got the win. And that was the narrative. Lamar can't come back. Lamar, whenever he gets down in the Greg Roman's offense, they're not coming back. Oh, well, he came back. He came back down 21. So what are you going to move the goalpost to now? What's the new thing that Lamar can't do? Because he can clearly do anything that you tell him he can't do. And then he comes in this Sunday against an LA Chargers team that was 4-1. Justin Herbert looking like an MVP candidate. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, and they got absolutely owned. The running game, this is the opposite of the Monday night game. This was a running game. The Ravens ran the ball right down the Chargers' throat, and they could not stop it. And the Ravens' defense stepped up when they weren't even doing anything the first 5 weeks of the season. I think this Ravens team, with Lamar Jackson at the head, can go all the way to the AFC Championship game, possibly to a Super Bowl. And you know what, Maz? We're going to beat your damn Cowboys.
All right, listen.
Now go off.
Listen. I'll tell you right now, Ant, everything that you said, there's some backing to it for sure. You know, you guys might go all the way to the AFC Championship, but you know the Buffalo Bills are gonna knock you out, so it's all right. Am I right? But let me just say this: for everything that Lamar Jackson has done, I don't know if he's a top 5 quarterback. I think he's knocking right there. But I tell you right now, who is a top 5 quarterback? My man, Dak Prescott. All right, I know y'all sitting there rolling your eyes, but listen to me. Nobody likes it. It's the same. When the Cowboys are doing good, business is up. Whether you love them or love to hate them. And let me tell you about Dak Prescott. My man, in 6 games, out of those 6 games, only one time has his passer rating been below 100. All right, my man is putting out some serious games out there. He's playing some serious football. He's looking like a stud. I don't care what anybody has to say. If the Cowboys keep it up, especially with the way that defense is playing, the way that Michael Trey Diggs right now, they are killing it, man. Especially Diggs might be the definitely going to be defensive rookie of the year. He might be the defensive I'm sorry, not defensive rookie. I believe it's the second. No, I believe it's defensive rookie of the year. No, I'm lying. He's already in for a year. Michael Parsons is the rookie. My apologies. He might be the defensive player of the year, fellas. He's got as many touchdowns as his brother, Stephon Diggs, one of the best wide receivers in the game today. They're tied at 2. And my man plays defense for crying. The most excited I've ever seen. To be a Cowboys fan, I can't even fathom the words. I've hated Cowboys fan, even though I myself am a Cowboys fan, because every year we're going to the championship. We're the best team in the league. No, we're not, because we never had the defenses since I've been alive, for crying out loud. The last time I remember us having a defensive stud, DeMarcus Ware was on the team. That line was awesome, but everywhere else was not that great. But for the first time in my life, fellas, the Dallas Cowboys they're winning games they have no business winning because they played like crap in it, and that's what championship is out of nowhere, even though they're having bad nights at the office. And quite frankly, I will say this right now: if the Cowboys continue to play, I don't know who's going to stop them. They're going all the way to the Super Bowl, and we get in number 6, man. It is what it is. It is what it is.
You want to know why the Cowboys are finally good again? It's because
Why?
Jerry Boy stopped putting his hands in everything.
Hey, whoa,
I think Jerry Jones held the Cowboys back for so long. Now he's finally taking his hands off the wheel because he's getting old.
Hold on.
And now the Cowboys are starting to do good again.
Hold on a second. Jerry Jones. I'll tell you what Jerry Jones does well. All right. When my man is on the yacht, chilling back on the yacht, he draft like nobody's ever drafted before. We get gems. Jerry better stay up where he's at. Let whatever the coaching staff is doing, you know, it is what it is. Everybody is clicking. We just got the defensive coordinator. Our defense coordinator was the Falcons' old head coach. Apologies. But he's been putting in some serious work with those schemes. We already know that they've had a offensive Mozart, man. My man is just cooking up the greatest offense I've seen in a while. You know, down in Dallas, and it is just amazing, man. It's it's just been the pinnacle of football, man. Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott are making some serious magic happen. We got everything healthy, fellas. What other teams outside of the Ravens and the Cowboys, though? Big J, who do you see still competing? We already saw KC dropping the ball a little bit. Let's be honest now, So, who do you see outside of the usual suspects stepping up?
Yeah, before I dive into that, man, let me go off on my rant real quick, man, because I'm a Ravens fan too. So before I dive in, yeah, here we go. But look, Big Ant. It's about that big trust, man. Without the Mark Ingram. Look, listen, Monday Night Football, the Colts, my man Lamar threw for 37 for 43 completions, 4 touchdowns. My man almost had 500 passing yards. Had a 140 QBR. Perfect. We were in the group chat. We were like, yo, I'm pissed. We were losing to a crappy ass team. And all of a sudden, I go to the bathroom, and my team's cooking. We are cooking. And don't get me wrong, the Colts are kind of an average defense. But we were cooking, man. Just like Ant said, like Lamar defeats the odds, man. They say this man can't throw. He throws. The only criticism about his game is his throwing ability. And I've told you before, he has an arm, but he has a good line this year, man. He has this is the first year I've seen Lamar take his time in the pocket. Looking at his progressions. If the one is not there, he goes to the 2. Or if not, being with the legs. So now we fast forward to the Chargers game. Everyone's all the NFL analysts are picking the Chargers to beat the Ravens. Here we go. 2 quarterbacks in the league, Lamar and Herbert. I thought they were going to go off on us, but the running game, we beat them with the running game. Ravens are known for their running game and their defense. We pound the ball. Yo, the Chargers had what, like 6 points? Third, they didn't have no points, or maybe like what, a couple points in the third quarter. Shutout. My boy Bateman, first game, went off for a little bit, dropped a couple balls, but looking good. But I'm sorry, man. Let me answer your question, man. I'm sorry. Go on that rant.
It's all right, Big J. Do your thing, bro. But before you answer that question, let me ask you this question real quick.
Yes, sir, man.
If you wasn't a Ravens fan and you had to put money on it, would you have not taken the Chargers over?
Like I said, I was
the Baltimore Ravens.
Like I said, I was kind of nervous, man, because Herbert, they're going off, man. But look at the teams that they played so far. They haven't, the Ravens are another animal, man, when it comes to defense and running game. But to answer your question directly, I would say the Chargers, man, because Herbert, he's going off this year, man. But
that's all I wanted to hear, Big J. I appreciate it.
Yeah. But to answer your first question, the team I see out of it, so obviously KC has a little problems, a little issues. Mahomes had another pick, or 2 picks, right? Last Sunday. Being too cocky, throwing off the back foot. So the team, I would say, man, I would say the Cardinals, man. Still undefeated. We got my boy Kyler Murray, and I like your boys. Surprisingly, the Cowboys looking good this year, man. But they've only played, the Eagles. They play some subpar teams, but they have a chance. But I like the Cardinals, man. Undefeated still, man. Proving the odds. I see the who else do I see? I see like the Rams too. A shocking team. What do y'all think? Anthony, me first, man.
All right, so I think the NFC this year is just been far and away better than the AFC. The NFC, we've got Cowboys, we've got LA, Arizona, Green Bay. I think in the NFC South, I mean, you got the Saints who are not terrible, and you got the Bucks. Like it's like the NFC's got so many good teams, and don't get me wrong, the AFC's still very good. I mean, you got the Ravens, you got Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland's been playing good. They just won last night against Denver. I mean, you got the Bills, Chargers. I think the Chiefs. I still can't count Mahomes, man. I mean, he's just so talented, and the offense is just so overpowered. I mean, the defense has got to get better for sure. I mean, they looked pretty good against Washington on Sunday. I think Washington's offense is just a little. Heineke's just not a good quarterback. He wasn't what he was in the playoffs last year. But I just think the NFC this year is just so good. I think out of the NFC right now, I think the favorite, in my opinion, is Arizona. But I just gotta see more. I think Kyler's never started an NFL playoff game. I gotta see what he does in the playoffs. I'm not too sold in on him yet. I mean, he's looked good. But when the lights are brightest and he's got to win a playoff game, I just don't know if he can do it. So if I had to put money on a team right now to make it to the Super Bowl, I'd either say the Bucks or the Packers. And then if I'm on the AFC side, I really like the Bills, as Maz was talking about. I really love Al, but as a biased Ravens fan, I always gotta throw my Ravens in there. I think we'll definitely make a run at the AFC Championship game this year. It's just a matter of if we can get over whoever we play at that point, whether it be the Bills, the Chiefs, Chargers, or like whoever it is.
I can't forget about that team, the Titans, man. That boy Derrick Henry, man. Just like Big Matt said, man. That boy is making men into boys, man. And that one play where he broke that tackle and ran. Man, that dude's like a linebacker for a running back. Bodying linemen. That dude, I'm an Alabama fan when it comes to football, but that man beefed up. So we can't forget about, and with Julio Jones, AJ Brown, Tannehill. That's another team I didn't mention. I thought about Derrick Henry, man. That dude is a monster among men, fellas. What do you think about that, Big Maz, man?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. The Bills should have won that game. The Titans got quality offense around them, but Quintorris, aka Julio Jones, can't stay healthy. When he is healthy, he looks like the best wide receiver I think I've ever seen in my life, to be honest with you. But he can't stay on the field anymore, man. It's a problem. And the fact that he's their second option at wide receiver is scary. I wish they had a better quarterback. I don't think Tannehill is, amazing, but he's a solid quarterback. He's definitely NFL. And Derrick Henry, man, you've already said it. He's making men, turning them into boys, man. He's baptizing out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna shout out my man Jorge Masvidal, UFC, but he's just baptizing any team that he plays against. You got to get multiple heads to him, man. It's ridiculous. But dude, the Buffalo Bills, what did y'all think about them going for it on that goal line, bro? That 1 yard, man.
Well, think about. I'm sorry, but I was saying, like, we'll think about the 4th and 1 against the Chargers, man. Obviously they're getting blown out, but I mean, it's a controversial call. Should the coach go for 4th and 1? Go for it. But obviously it's a different situation. The Bills, it's just the analytics, man. I don't know. Like, if I was a coach, the same situation. Like, if you want to win, then take that opportunity. But then you're gonna get beaten up in the press after that. So,
if I'm being honest, I love the call. I love Sean McDermott as a head coach. That guy, he'll listen to his players. I think it was a very manageable 4th and 1. It's not like it was like 4th and 4, where like the kick and field goal tie the game at the 5-yard line. This was 4th and 1, and you got Josh Allen, who's probably the strongest quarterback in football. Guy's built like a tank. I don't disagree with the call. I would have made it too if I was in his shoes, and I would have made it 10 out of 10 times. If it doesn't go through, I'm still not upset with the call. I still think I would have made it over and over again.
I gotta be honest with you. I agree with half your point. I had the balls to be like, we're going for this. We're sick of playing this game right now. We're better than them. It's 1 yard. We're going after it. Love the confidence. Didn't like the quarterback. What was I don't was it a draw? I don't even know what to call
It
that,
was
man.
sneak. It was sneak.
Was it sneak?
Yeah, it was like off the left guard almost.
Oh, dude, I don't know what I saw. I could have sworn I saw that. Like I thought he took like a step back and then went like it was weird, bro. I think my old man, he's a Bills fan, lifelong Bill. Pops watched 4 Super Bowls in a row go in the drain, and I feel for him every time he watches the Bills. This was the first time in I don't even know how long where I've actually seen the old man be excited about the Bills. He went, he was jumping, yelling, getting in his feels. I can't remember the last time I've seen this. And this poor man, they let him down every time. That's a game they should have won. He liked the call of going for it, but if you ask him, he didn't like it. He didn't like the cube on the right side. He said all game he would have liked to seen him actually roll out with some options coming across because we already know that Josh Allen can take off, and everybody was going to be looking for him anyway to take off running because we know he's got the legs. You potentially could have had that a tight end there slip off into the flat and get lost in the sauce real quick, you know. So that's what he would have liked to see. But quite frankly, I gotta go for it. I like the call. I just wish they would have had a better play call because that is a heartbreaking loss right there. And quite frankly, they were playing down, man. The Titans had no business. Just personnel and how teams have been playing recently. But and you brought up the AFC, and I don't know if I'm happy that you did, but we all know it's been in the news. We all know we got to get to it. And here at the JJL Sports Talk Show, we ain't afraid to cover the hard topics. Now, we saw the AFC's very own Las Vegas Raiders head coach, John Gruden, get exposed over the past couple of weeks. Thing exploded kind of overnight once it was released. And we got a situation. John Gruden, head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, was sending some emails to, I believe, somebody in the Washington football team's organization over the last 10 years. I believe it was their president of football operations. I could be wrong.
And his brother too, Jay.
And his brother Jay. Okay. My man said some quite frankly messed up remarks. I don't even know where to begin here. We covered everything of a toxic male could actually cover, man. We had a potential racial statement and that it wasn't. I still don't even know how to take that one, to be honest, where he made a comment at the man in the NFL's player
Demarius Smith. Demarius Smith, right?
DeMar Smith. He made a comment about the gentleman's lips, but then was trying to backtrack and saying that he just talks too much. I don't even know how to take that one. But that wasn't even the only one, man. And everybody that's out there saying, oh, it was 10 years ago. It wasn't 10 years ago. All right. It's been going on for a while. I believe it was from 2010 to 2018. We got out the protests and mocking that. We got my man out here saying that female officials shouldn't be a thing. There's another big one that I'm missing right now. If anybody remembers, please hit me with it.
He's talking about Kaepernick.
It was Kaepernick with the flag and the protest, you know.
Yeah.
Fellas, I mean, this is the craziest thing. It's just another thing after another. I'm surprised by it. I don't know John Gruden personally, but just looking at him on TV, he was a guy. That's the worst part. Like he's a guy that kind of made football fun. When he used to do his quarterback analysis, he was doing that show on I believe it was ESPN for a little bit, where he had the incoming rookies or just sat down with quarterbacks in general. But I always saw it was always like the rookies to go over like their film with. It was really entertaining, man. But I mean, my man just got caught showing his true colors. Big J, what do you think, man?
I mean, look, man, we had an episode, a couple episodes ago, we were talking about the same shit, man, the same stuff. Race. Like, I mean, I've talked to my family, my friends about this, and like you can tell like somebody's true colors by looking into their eyes, man. Like it just sucks that, we have to talk about this, man, because in 2021 and the 21st century, obviously says some racial comments. knowing that, and he says some homophobic comments too. Knowing that before the season started, Carl Nassib or not Nassib came out publicly gay. Um, he talked about the commissioner. Um, he talked about a lot of stuff, and it's just crazy how the world revolves, and how we talked about this on the couple podcasts ago. But it's crazy. I'm not surprised because like he's getting paid what 10 million for like 10 years.
My
You
man
know,
blew $100 million contract. Blew
so
$100 million
yeah,
contract, Big J.
and it's crazy because it was on Monday Night Football, the game of the Colts, and boom, just breaking news. Yeah, it's just personally, I don't want to see him coach ever again. Obviously, it sucks that he has to ride it out that way. I don't feel bad for the man. He said we had to say, but obviously, another hot take that someone can take from this is that obviously somebody inside in house, like they wanted this information out. The person whoever leaked it wanted John Gruden out of that position. It's just crazy, man. Like how we have a quarterback like Colin Kaepernick kind of protests for what is right, for what he believes in. Then we have a white coach, a, a white coach talking about all this stuff, man. And it's crazy. Like I don't see him coaching ever again. College, NFL, high school, Pop Warner. I don't see him coaching anything, man. Um, Ant, man, how about you, man? What do you think, bro?
I thought those comments were repulsive, degrading, terrible. I just there's no use for that sort of stuff in today's day and age. I think one thing I also want to bring up in regards to this situation, Washington and Dan Snyder and all the people in house. There's like a whole what was it FBI investigation going on now into like their workspace. And Washington had to do that like a scramble thing to get the PR off them, and they did that Sean Taylor jersey retirement, and what a shit show that was. Pardon my language, but
Can I say something real quick?
can I finish first?
Go ahead, man. I apologize.
Yeah, that's all right, yeah.
I apologize.
I just wanted to get that's all right. I was like, what a shit show that was. That they completely disrespected the legacy of one of the greatest safeties to ever play the game, just to get the PR nightmare off their back. And I think it's
Patrick Mahomes' brother
true.
dance on that shit, bro.
Yeah, but actually, that wasn't his fault because they told him to stand there, and I don't think he knew anything about it, which sucks because it's Sean Taylor Day, so he should know something about it. But Dan Snyder, the entire Washington football team front office, if their jobs aren't gone in the next month, then there's something truly wrong with what's going on right now in football. The Maz, you can go now, man. Sorry about that.
That's literally what I felt. So the need to cut you off, and I apologize. How the hell is Dan Snyder still allowed to own a football team, for crying out loud? After everything, man, we saw there was pimping out cheerleaders. They had the war, like, dude, it's just been one thing after another, after another. If anybody, how the hell is my man still allowed to own a freaking? I can't even say my man. Don't let me say that. I don't even know why I said that. Use it as a buffer word right there. Dan Snyder should not be allowed to own a team in the NFL. Whoever's in the current organization should never be allowed to be in a damn organization ever for letting this go on as long as it has. John Gruden got mixed up in an internal investigation, but obviously my man was acting shady enough where they felt the need to bring it to the light and get him out of there. I am a little curious about the decisions to remove Gruden out of the Ring of Honors, only because I heard O.J. Simpson's still in the Bills Ring of Honor. And if that's true, I'm not saying John Gruden should not be in the Ring of Honor, but I'm just saying, we need to have consistency here, and just be level across everything, man. Obviously, the game's evolved. It's involving all kinds of people right now. As we said before, it doesn't matter what your gender is. If you're the right person for the job, you're the right person for the job. Should not matter what your sexual orientation is. If you're the right person for the job, you're the right person for the job. The Sean Taylor thing. Sean Taylor absolutely deserves to have his. That's long overdue, for crying out loud. The fact that they decide to do it just as a cover up just speaks to how low these people are in the Washington football team's organization. It's ridiculous, man. It's one thing after another. They need to make them sell the team. This way we can get a new ownership in there, a new front office, a whole new organization, and a new team brand so we can move on from this. Because quite frankly, it's the most despicable thing in sports right now. We've seen people get thrown out of leagues for less, and it's just the never-ending story. And I understand that he's a part of the NFL, but at the end of the day, this isn't the majority of the NFL owners getting caught doing stuff. We're talking about one guy who's making the league look bad, losing the league money, losing them PR, for crying out loud. It's how the hell we keep giving these passes, man. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Anthony. That was a good point. That's my point that I felt the need to cut you off on. It's a great point right there.
Yeah, I was saying it like, and it's scary because like, who knows? Behind the scenes with these other owners, they could be doing the same stuff, man. Who knows? Who knows what's in those coaches' emails, man? Not saying that no coach has done anything, but who knows? Maybe like you just never know. You never know, man. And it's crazy, man. Like I just don't get it, man. These times, this whole racial, this whole race issue, man. And this come to find out, this man said all these things, man. I think he, like you said, Big Mad's, like when he said that to Demarius Smith, he has like the size of Michelin tires, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't mean it to be racist, dude, bro. That's racist, man. Like, come on, bro."
I don't know how he meant to Big J, but I'm gonna tell you right now, good luck like trying to say that you didn't mean that as race.
Yeah.
I know he tried backtracking on it. He tried saying that I meant that he was like a blabbermouth and this. That man, you got to be more.
Just say that, then. Don't say that Michelin man. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just say that, man. Like instead of, you got to be conscious of what you're saying. And I've seen a lot of things where people don't agree with what he said, but it was his personal email. I don't know how I feel about them going through that, But at the end of the day, man, y'all got to understand, whatever you put out on the internet lasts forever. All right. So if you don't think that someone's going to find it, if they want to find this crap on you, you're an idiot. All right. And you're an idiot for even saying that crap in the first place. Mm-hmm. All right. But once you put it out on there, man, you got to be prepared for any backlash that comes with it. This podcast will be out there forever. Even if it was the worst podcast in the history of the planet, the second we upload it, it's out there forever, man. So if you're going to be saying this stupid ass shit, which you shouldn't even be saying, it got me tight right now. If you're gonna be saying that crap, then God, keep that crap at home behind closed doors, because we don't want to see this crap. This stuff is not appropriate in the streets no more. It's not appropriate out in public. We're not standing for this anymore. You're gonna lose your job. You're gonna lose your credibility, and you're gonna lose all your accolades. And you know what? That's exactly what should happen to you for being a POS anyway. Keep it moving.
Yeah, and another good question is, I have to do my research, but what did Mark Davis say, man? Did he say anything? The owner?
Mark Davis is
be quiet.
He's been very quiet about this. Him and John were very close, because John and Al Davis's dad were very tight.
And then he got this big ass.
That's why Mark Davis. Well,
yeah, he has this big ass house. He's about to make in Vegas, man. He don't care. Like, that's another thing, man. I hate these owners, man. Like you said, Big Maz, we need more
diversity.
More diversity, man. We need more diversity. We need women as owners. We need men, Black men, Hispanic men in these owners' positions. I don't like what you just said. I don't like that, man. They're friends, and you're the owner of probably. They have a good roster: Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, but you are the pinnacle of the team, of the owner. And your head coach said these terrible things, and you're not saying shit. Like that shit just don't rub. That's crazy, man.
But here's my question, man. I saw somebody. I was talking with somebody on campus I completely forget what they said. Look at Gruden's contract. That was an awful contract, and he's been terrible with his second stint with the Raiders. He did win a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, but people make the argument that Tony Dungy is the one who actually built that team. I don't know enough about that team. I remember who was on the team, but I was very young when they won that Super Bowl, so I don't know who built it. But I do know that Gruden hasn't been successful with the Raiders the second run. That was an awful contract that they gotten into for a coach that hasn't. We're not talking Bill Belichick here. We're talking John Gruden. All right, he got one with an all-star roster. Somebody said that if this was Bill Belichick, if this was Nick Saban with the same comments, greatness with the same comments, do you guys think that they would have been held to the same standards? Or was this just, hey, this was bad? Because we've seen people come back from worse stuff, let's be honest. We've seen people come back from spousal domestic violence cases and stuff. And stuff that is, I'm not trying to downplay this, but what I'm saying is, do you think that Gruden was let go so fast because of what he's accomplished the second round? If this was a more accomplished coach who was winning games over the last couple of years, do you think that they would have given a slide on this, Big J?
I think there would be held to the same accountability, man. Especially if a coach is getting that contract and on a winning team. Like obviously, like you said, their private emails. Like I don't know how I feel about that, like being exposed like that, but like shit hits the fan, man. Like stuff comes out. So I mean, obviously, I agree with you. Like when you say that, like you said, this podcast when we end it tonight and I upload it, whatever we say, people are gonna hear it, man. And I feel like I feel like if it was like Belichick or like Greg Popovich, hypothetically, yeah, they'd be held to the same accountability. I believe so, but I feel like they would be, since they're more respected. I feel like people would be like shocked. But I wasn't shocked with John Gruden because like I can tell he was by the look of him, man. He just I don't know. I don't judge people. But you can just tell when someone has a racist bone in their body.
Oh, I judge. I'm gonna be honest. I judge.
I judge, but I'm not. I don't.
This one caught me by surprise, man. John Gruden just looks like a guy who at his college, man. My man just want to drink beer and talk football all day. And when this came out, I was floored. I went, out of all the people, John Gruden. It just goes to show you never know who's gonna be. I don't know if they'd be held to the same standard though if this was a Bill Belichick. I agree with you. I'd like to see them held to it. I just don't know if I could believe that it would happen. I think it would need a more reoccurring theme to get rid of somebody like that. And what do you think?
No, I disagree with you, Maz. I for sure think anyone who says stuff like that in emails or any type of communication says something like that, they're done. Especially in this day and age, you can't get away with stuff like that, and rightfully so. You should not get away with stuff like that. And I think as the organization, you have fans of other races, you have fans of other sexual orientations, you have fans of different genders. What does that say to them that the team that they root for wants a puppet like that or a guy like that at the helm of their team? It just says that maybe they don't care about me as a fan. Maybe they just think I'm just some schmuck that watches them and pays them money. Like this is the stuff that I believe teams and owners and like network executives should look at when they see things like this, because they know that these people watch their product, and when you keep guys like that, even if it is like a Bill Belichick or a Nick Saban, it's just going to look bad on the entire organization.
I agree with Ant because these owners, coaches, they are looked up as role models, and especially a rookie, man. Think about a rookie coming to the league on that team and the coach, hey, yo, what? But and they're held. That's another thing they're held to. They're held to like a certain standard where they're looked up to, and sucks to say that John Gruden has lost his coaching abilities,
Lost his credibility as a
credibility.
man, as a friend, as in every asset, man. People are gonna be looking at him different if they didn't already know this. Like I said, I don't know John Gruden personally. I don't know what his true intentions were. Seems like he was just, talking with two confidants and was showing his true colors. And turns out his true colors are the worst of the worst. Just a bigot, an idiot. Clown. Sit down, get out of there, keep it moving. We're never gonna hear from you again, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if this passes over in a couple of years and some TV network picks some of this. But I'll tell you right now, it won't be ESPN because apparently this was all happening when he was an analyst for them, so it makes ESPN look bad. But he's a big enough personality where I'm gonna be honest, I probably see him in a couple of years, people forgetting about this and moving on from it. It wasn't the worst situation we've ever seen, but that doesn't matter. He absolutely deserved to get fired. He absolutely deserves everything that he's catching right now because he proved that he's not a good human being. And quite frankly, we're out here holding people to higher standards and this is the perfect opportunity. You want to set an example right now, man? Start getting some more diversity out there. If I'm the Raiders, I'm not looking to get diversity. Like I'm going in-house right now because if you hire somebody, you're doing it all for the wrong reasons. Start looking for the best candidate out there, but start getting some diversified options, and actually want somebody that's there and doesn't matter what they look like, where they come from, man. That's the move.
All right. I think we said everything that we need to say on that. Very, very,
Mhm.
very good, guys.
Anything else we should cover tonight, or if we should we
Oh,
end the
hold up,
show?
bro. We got to give you an apology, Big J. We owe you an apology. Moving on to baseball real quick, just gonna cover it a little bit. I did not see the Red Sox pulling that off, and we said Big J, they ain't going all the way, but here's Boston sitting in a position, man.
in
Sitting
the
in a position.
ALCS,
Yeah.
it's 2-0 right now. Game 6 of the ALCS. The two cheating
Oh
teams
man.
that made it all the way back.
Oh, I get, I
That
get,
is
I get it.
fantastic right there. Yo, who's up right now?
At the moment, I think it's Boston and Houston's
Dude,
up 2-0.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. We always talk about we were talking about like diversity and stuff. But just looking at where we're at, man, the red if I wasn't a Yankees fan, Houston's up 2-0
Yeah,
right now,
I got to root for the. Right now, I am for the Astros. I'm
top of the
sorry, I
seventh.
can't.
Wasn't a
I
Yankees
can't
fan.
willingly root for the Red Sox.
What's up?
As a Yankee fan, I cannot willingly root for the
No,
Red
I can't.
Sox.
I can't root for them. I'm saying if I wasn't a Yankees fan, just this lineup, I'm a fan of the lineup. To be honest with you, they got a bunch of young Hispanics over there overperforming, playing fun baseball. But uh, I can't. I love that you called it the AL Cheetahs. That it was
The
amazing. But
ALCS.
Big J, we owe you an apology. Did not think that they'd be sitting in this position. They still could pull it off, but and they're running out of time. But here we are. Any of us saw Atlanta doing this? Obviously, we all were thinking the Dodgers. Houston, I thought we were all thinking too. Boston didn't see it coming, yet here we are. And who do you think is walking into the World Series, and who's walking out of that World Series champion?
So in this Red Sox and Astros series, I believe Houston has the better team at the moment. They got the better lineup, hitting wise. Pitching wise, I think the Red Sox might have a slight edge in that department. But usually in the playoffs, pitching beats hitting. But at the moment, I think the Astros can pull this game out, and I think they do move on to the World Series. On the NL side of things, that's where it gets tricky because the Braves were up 2-0, and then they let the Dodgers score 3 runs, I think, in the 8th inning, and let the Dodgers come all the way back and win that game and made it 2-1. And then I think the Braves won game 5 or 4, and they made it 3-1. And the Braves had this. They done it to the Dodgers a few years ago. They were up 3-1. They did a what we like to call a Steph Curry and blew a 3-1 lead. They did it a few years ago. And now they're in this position again. They lost last night to LA 11-2. Chris Taylor hit 3 home runs. Absolute monster. I think this Braves team it's good, but they're not great. I mean, and tomorrow the Dodgers got Max Scherzer on the mound. So, tomorrow they have Max Scherzer on the mound. He's going to shut down that Braves lineup like he's done 1,000 times in his career because Max Scherzer owns the Atlanta Braves. But I mean, it's very much a toss up. Like I really don't know who's going to pull out this series. But if I really had to say, I'm going to go with Dodgers. I think they're going to come back. I think they're going to come back in that series. I don't think the Braves, they're the choke artists pretty much in baseball. And they have been that way for 20 years when they were in the 90s. They won that one World Series in 95, but then they lost. They were the team of the 90s. That's what their nickname was. And they only won one World Series. How can you be a team of the 90s and only have one World Series in the 90s? So I think the Braves, they don't think they pull us out. I think the Dodgers move on to the World Series, and we have a 2017 rematch, Astros-Dodgers. And I want the Dodgers in that one. I think the Dodgers are going to get the revenge on the cheat Stros, and we're going to get a nice little repeat Dodgers, the first repeat team in MLB history since the 99-2000 New York Yankees.
Yeah, I like the Dodgers to win it all, man, because but speaking of baseball, right? We are all Yankees fans here, so how do y'all feel about, like we talked about on the other podcast, how we should clean out, like, the man. I see your face, big man. Yeah. How do you feel about Aaron Boone? 3 years, man.
Boone, he's back.
Listen, as long as he's going to have some balls and actually be a manager and not try to hold people's hands, I'm not mad about it. And have some balls. Because right now we should be right where the Dodgers are sitting, the world in the palm of our hands, the comeback on, and we should be walking into the World Series and walking out champions. I think the Dodgers are going to take it. I think Boone, I mean, what am I going to do about it, dude? I'm stuck with it for 3 years. Do I think he's the man for the job? Not necessarily. Do I think he's the worst option for the job? Not necessarily. I'm just kind of like whatever at this point. But for crying out loud, man, start making some better decisions. I don't know who you're hiring over there. Get us some better hitting coaches. Ant said, quite frankly, there's absolutely no reason that the Yankees shouldn't be in one of these spots right now. Should not. The Yankees should be playing against the Houston Astros right now. I can't take it anymore, man. It is what it is. They're going to continue to break my heart until something changes. I'm hoping Boone has the foresight to know that you got to do something, man. You can't. It doesn't matter who you made relationships with. It doesn't matter who's been there this entire time. Keep it freaking moving.
So the next
man.
So the next question is like, so who, I'm gonna ask both of y'all. So who do you want player wise, for us on our team? Like, who do you want? I heard Carrera from the Astros, possibly, and shaking his head no.
No.
Trevor Story, no.
Man? We need a shortstop. That's the big address that we're making this offseason. I would either want Corey Seager, that's what I've been hearing the Yankees are very interested in. They want a Corey Seager. Or they want a Marcus Semien, which I would love. I love Marcus Semien. I think he's a dog. Those two are very good options. I just don't like Correa for the fact that he was on the Astros 2017. I do believe he is the best shortstop out of those four, but you can't add him to that locker room because some of those Yankee players are still there, and they still resent those Astros because they believe they were the team that should have been the representing the AL that year in the World Series. And when you add a guy like that who cheated against you and you throw him in that lineup, it's just going to cause problems, and that's just not what you want. I think Corey Seager's the guy that the Yankees should go after. or Marcus Semien. And I think first they might add an outfielder like a Starling Marte or a Ketel Marte. I think they're gonna add another starting pitcher. They've been eyeing Robbie Ray, I've been hearing, but I don't want Robbie Ray. I think he might win the Cy Young this year, but I think it was sort of a fluke performance. I'd rather see a starting pitcher that the starting pitcher market this year is not that great, but I just want some guy that has been consistent and that could give the Yankees a few more innings than what they have on their roster right now.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You just said it. Correa's the best option. I don't give a damn what he did, man. Moving on from it, because you know what? Garrett Cole's already there. He was in that locker room. Granted, we do know that pitchers and outfielders get a little separated when it comes to stuff like this. But at the end of the day, like, you know, Cole was there. We welcome Cole with open arms. You know why? Because he was the best talent available to come in and make us win. We will forgive you and wipe away your sins. Perform for the Yankees. You know, I will open up the door for Correa with a smile on my face. With anything that he needs to be successful, I will literally take anybody, man. I don't care who it is. Anybody that is gonna get us back to greatness, go ahead and.
I'm just gonna tell you this, Maz. If Carlos Correa is a New York Yankee at the end of this offseason, I am not watching another game.
That is such a lie.
It is not a lie. I will find a new team.
Shut that. Listen, I know you're.
I will be a New York Mets fan if the Yankees sign Carlos Correa. Listen, I will turn in all my Yankee stuff and become a Mets fan.
And you know
that is the worst.
We all know we're on national television right now. We're not national television, but you know.
Listen. The second if they go back to the World Series, you're gonna be sitting there. You're gonna be sitting. You're gonna be like,
no, I won't, because I will not want Carlos
Correa, baby. What do you do, dude? You're bugging. Anybody, I don't care.
I'm not bugging. Personally, I'm starting to question you as a Yankee fan right now.
What does it matter?
No sane Yankees fan will want a guy that cheated them out of a World Series on their roster. That is so crazy. Imagine if the Cowboys just got cheated by Tom Brady and then they signed Tom Brady to a 5-year extension.
Absolutely.
In the Super Bowl. If Tom Brady wasn't cheating against you, you would have won the Super Bowl. Would you want Tom Brady on your roster?
If it's going to mean that I'm going to go back to multiple Super Bowls and
insane.
Win, if it means that I'm going to go back to...
You are selling your morals. That is morally wrong. That's unethical.
Hold on a second, all right? Arguably the greatest Yankee and arguably the greatest baseball player in history came from one of our rivals at the Great Bambino. All right, Babe Ruth. What? Correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure we got Damon from Boston too. He was pretty solid for us. What does it matter where the guy came from? I understand with the cheating.
Because he's a cheater.
Get over it, man.
He's a cheater. Johnny Damon and Babe Ruth aren't cheaters.
Dude.
Carlos Correa is a cheater. Cheater. He won a World Series doing wrongdoings, and I don't want any part of that. Not on my Yankees. Ever. EVER. Ever.
Were you complaining when A-Rod was hitting home runs for us when he was on the beach?
I hated A-Rod.
A-Rod was my favorite Yankee.
A-Rod was probably my least favorite Yankee when he was on the Yankees.
A-Rod was my favorite Yankee. You know why?
Because he's a terrible commentator.
Dude, he came in. That's just disrespectful, man.
No,
you leave A-Rod alone. Listen, A-Rod. Listen, I love A-Rod. He has a special place in my heart, man. But anybody that's gonna come in and do work for the Yankees, I don't care. Get us back to greatness. All right, get me the best player available. Boo-hoo, he cheated. Guess what? Garrett Cole was on that damn team. I don't see you complaining about when we signed Cole. What's the deal?
Part in the cheating.
Dude, he was in the clubhouse. He knew what was going on. He didn't stop it. He was a part of it, all right? When you just stand by as a bystander, it's just as bad as doing the deed yourself. Get out of here, man. Keep that thought moving. You're being ridiculous right now. I appreciate you having the spirit. But, man, at the end of the day, it don't matter. Move on to a new team. Did he come up with the strategy? Taking it? Yes, but guess what? If it was getting you those results, I think anybody probably would have partaken in it because, quite frankly, they didn't think they were doing anything wrong. But yet here we are. They were doing something wrong. They were cheating blatantly. But how many pitchers do we still use the sticky stuff for crying out loud? How many times have we seen guys off the juice for crying out loud? I don't see anybody sitting there being like, when they're on their team, oh my God, how dare they? They made us look awful, blah, blah, blah. No, dude, they were doing whatever they could to get us a dub. And that's what I want in the clubhouse. All right. I want somebody that is going to do whatever it takes to get. Why shouldn't I sell out? Everybody in this damn league sells out. Everybody's money hungry. They jump and ship to get their bigger contracts. So why the hell, as a fan, why can't I sit there and be like, yo, get me whoever's going to get me a championship? I don't care what he did in the past. Keep him moving. We're not talking about the guy that's committed a serious crime here or is just a bad human being. We're talking about a guy who's cheating in sports. And guess what? If you look hard enough, everybody and their mother's cheating in sports.
I mean, I don't know if it might not be a crime, but I mean, being a Yankees fan, it basically is a crime in the MLB because they should just we should have been there instead of the freaking Astros. But I don't know. I'm like on the fence because I mean, like Big Matt said, I don't mind him being on my team if he's gonna give us wins, help us give us wins, man. But you know, like they should strip that. I mean, in my personal, they should strip that World Series, man.
Hit it with the asterisk. They already hit it with the asterisk. Bro, how long is man? How long are we gonna? We get it. It was awful. I was screaming "F them" at the top of my lungs. But dude, keep it moving. What are we gonna do? Say that nobody won the World Series that year? No, we're gonna put a nice little asterisk next to it, and we're gonna keep it moving. You know, that anything that they do should have an asterisk next to it. We see Bonds got the home run record with the asterisk. You know, it means something. You know, it doesn't mean as much to some. To me, like, I don't give a damn because, you know, if they didn't do it, somebody else was gonna. But yeah, I hated to see it as a fan of baseball. Moved from it. We're a couple years past it now. That loss still hurts, but my man can rectify it by coming in and doing work for the Yankees, filling the gap that's our biggest void right now, and getting us back to where we belong. And that's nothing but greatness. That's going for number 28 championships, being the best of the best, because we are, in fact, the best organization in baseball, the best fan base, the most loyal fan base. And it is what it is, man. I don't care who it is. Get me somebody who's going to bring us back. Yankees great again, damn it.
I know after the meeting we all talked about. I know, Maj, you had a good point about these stadiums, man. Because in the playoffs, we all saw Stanton hit those two bombs, which didn't go over the Green Monster. But in any other park, there would have been bombs. So I like your take the other day about, like, you know, the different before we end it. I like your take on, like, the different about how the two leagues should be universal with the DH or the pitcher or whatever, or like in the both like say your take, man.
This was my take.
Yeah.
And Anthony kind of disagreed with me on some parts of it, maybe all of it. My first one,
all of it.
maybe all of it. I kind of forget. I know we definitely disagreed on the ballparks. I can't remember if we agreed on the
dimensions. Yeah, we definitely disagreed on that.
Yeah, but the DH, I don't know if we agreed upon that. But what I said was, it's absolutely ridiculous. Leagues are playing under different circumstances and different rules. We got one league, I believe the American League's got the DH. National League is still having pitchers hit. It's absolutely ridiculous. Either make the rule, either have pitchers hit every time, or have a DH. Personally, I like to see the DH. We get some more action. It's a lot more exciting for the fans. They're just better hitters in general. Let's be honest here. So for me, I think I'd like to see a level playing field. All right. And just have either DHs or no D. Stupid that you play under different rules. And speaking of unfair advantages and different rules, it's absolutely stupid. I can't think of any other sport where a score in one field is not a score in another field, or on a court, or whatever, in the playing field. The fact that there's different lengths of what constitutes a home run to put a score up in baseball, depending on what field you're in, is absolutely the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. That's just like going to that's just like any soccer field, right? Like that's just like, let's say you go to Real Madrid soccer field and their net is you know a foot shorter on both sides. It's harder to score. It's stupid. It's the epitome of home advantage. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Design the field, the stadium, and field however you want. It doesn't matter. Be my guest. But for crying out loud, a home run in one stadium should be a home run in every stadium in the goddamn league. And go ahead.
All right. So when I think about baseball, I just think that there's an individuality about it. Each team has their chance to make their own ballparks. There's like this. There's sort of like a thing that when you make a ballpark, it's your home field. It's your special thing, and I think the MLB is wrong to not say anything about it because it's that choice. It's not like when you're playing at your home field, you're the only team that has those advantages. The other team has the advantage too. Like the Yankees have the short porch, but the away team also has the short porch. They can hit 315 in right field and get a home run as well. So it's not like it's just benefiting the home team. Yeah, of course they're going to play 81 games there every year, but like it's your field, so it doesn't really matter because the other teams are going to go back to play their field that they made. It's not like there's like the universal park rule. I agree with you with that. It would make for, I guess, like more equal play, but if the teams wanted to make an easier ballpark for themselves, they should have made it for themselves. It's not the Yankees' fault that they have an easy ballpark, or the Red Sox fault that they have the monster, or Camden Yards' fault that they have a really small ballpark. It's just the way it was built. So,
dude, but that's the league's fault. The league should have stepped in, should have started regulating. If you want to make your stadium special, you offer different amenities, all right? Tampa Bay Buccaneers got a damn pirate ship, and they made it their home, for crying out loud. The Mets used to have that stupid magic hat with that big apple that used to come out of the center field whenever
they still have that.
Dude, okay, bet. They still have it. That's how you make a field your own. What's next, dude? You got the Pittsburgh Steelers to come out and say, no, we want to start playing on a field that is only 80 yards long with 5 yards for each touchdown. So stupid. Because what? Both teams are going to play on it, but of course you're going to have an advantage because you know how to play on that field. It's not fair. It's completely BS, and it's so stupid that a score in one park is not a score in every other park. You're just messing with stats at this point, and then you got to adjust for it. Like I said, if Fenway Park, talking about it as one of the worst stadiums in baseball because the design is just so stupid. The reason why everybody loves it, the reason why there's some romance to it, is because the rich history behind it being around for years and all the events that happen there, which is completely awesome. But if you build that stadium today, it's dog water. It's an awful stadium. Just the design of the outfield is so stupid. You got that stupid cove, in the middle of the field. We've seen the ball like hit off the wall, then hit off that, and then ricochet. That's stupid. And then the wall has been saving them for years runs if you don't get the damn height on it. But it's just ridiculous, man. I'm sick of seeing it. I would like to see some regulation. I get what you're saying about adding personality to the stadium, but that's what you do with. You can make that center field whatever you want behind it. You know what I mean? Like, just have it. Hey, this is where the home run is. Anything behind it, do whatever the heck you want with it. You know, have your hat with your apple coming out of it. Do whatever the heck you please. But for crying out loud, man, let's have a level playing field and let's just see the sport of baseball. Big J, what do you think?
Yeah, man, I definitely agree. I was watching that game just like y'all were. And those two like great power forwards by Stan, they would have changed the game if we were playing in Colorado or something like that, man. Because I don't get it. Because like the way their stadium is built, it's like the Baltimore Red Sox. It's like big ass freaking green giant wall. Then in left field, then they got right field. It's like the short porch. It don't make no sense, man. I definitely agree, man. Like like design the field however you want it, but make it fair, man. Like they should put in Boston, they should have like a certain amount of feet the ball goes. It's a home run. I don't care if it goes past the wall or not. That should be a home run.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, bro. But like to me, like looking at like the wall, it's almost as similar as having the trash cans with the Astros, man. It's an advantage for the home team. They know it's going just. But if you're used to getting that height on the wall each time because you play there, as you said, multiple games a year, you play all your home games there, as opposed to a team just coming in and playing a quick series, you have that advantage. It's like, yo, I know exactly what I need to score in this thing where I'm coming in. It's like, I don't even know what I have to do. I walk onto a basketball court. I know exactly you know exactly what you have to do. You got to get that ball in the same size rim because that court is the same dimensions with the same size rims. No matter where you go, the back court is exactly the same. You step on a football field, it's 100 yards each way, 53 and I think an eighth sideways. So you're playing on the same thing. Soccer too. Soccer has different fields. There's I think there's within like a parameter that like you can have on the size of field, but at the end of the day, the goals are still the same width. And the reason why the size of the field matters is because if you hit a certain distance on a baseball field, you score, man. So that's why for me, you gotta have, dude, whatever it is. Like, I'm not saying the Yankee Stadium's figured it out. I love Yankee Stadium, but it's friendly for hitters, which is cool. But at the end of the day, like, take the best stadium. They grade the stadiums. Take the best stadium, and then make that dimensions for everybody in the league. And it's like, yo, this is what the stadium should have been. I don't think they're ever going to do that because it's just going to cost way too much money to go back and rebuild the stadiums. I'm saying this is what should have happened back in the day. And I think the MLB messed up for it. And that's why.
All right, fellas. Like, any final thoughts about anything we talked about? Any final thoughts? Any last topics?
I'm good, Big J.
We're good for the night, Big J. We are back with another one. You know what it do. The JJL Sports Talk Show. We already said it. We expect the Dodgers to go all the way, coming back from the deficit. Anybody but the ALCS, as my boy put. We'll be back with another one. Big J, take us out.
Yes, sir, man. So, yes, sir. Like, and do you have any last comments, last thoughts?
Pretty much just sub to the podcast. Just anywhere we get you got your podcast.
Yeah.
Just
know where to find us, man.
Yeah, before
we love you, listeners.
Yeah,
you know where to find us, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Spotify, Apple Free.
Yes, sir.
Podcast. We on YouTube. Big J, hit the links, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think I asked if anyone wants to follow you on socials like Instagram. I don't know if you're on that. Like, how do people reach out to y'all? Like, what's the best way for y'all, man?
Well, I'm on Instagram, AC_phone56. So follow me there. I don't really post much. I put shit in my story. That's it. But
where about you, Big Maz?
I gotta get more active on it, but you can follow me at Big Papa Maz with 2 Z's on Twitter. The most honest sports takes, the most fire sports here at the JJL Talk Show to give fire takes with my man AC and my dog Big J. You know what it is. We back with another one. We'll be back next week with another one. And we hear nothing but greatness to come. That's a wrap.
Like Big Maz said, I'm Big J, Big Maz, Big Ant, Cafone. You already know what it is, man. Like Ant said, like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the Apple Podcast, Spotify. We doing big things, talking big topics. And we talk about some controversial topics, but we try not to intertwine sports and politics, but we can't just like ignore that. So bear with us. Some stuff might get too sensitive. but we got it. We all grown men. So thank y'all for tuning into. Sorry for the setback. We were doing midterms and schoolwork. Well, we are back. We are back better than ever.
And Big Truz basketball all stars.
Oh,
First
yeah,
game
Big
this
Truz.
Sunday.
First
game this Sunday, 10:00 p.m. in the Montclair
Sunday,
gym.
10
We'll give you a recap of after every of our games. We'll give you a little recap.
I'm about to drop like 30 bombs.
Big J, you gotta go 0 for 30, dog.
Yeah, I
I'll make it out to the game. You know what to do. Y'all are hilarious.
I got my boy Johnny G.
Jaeger John.
John John gonna go. I'm calling 2 for 12.
Oh man.
2 for 12. John's going 2 for 12, man. Shout out, John. You know I love you, kid. Keep it moving. That's a wrap, fellas. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. We'll be back next week, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for tuning in. And like I said, the JoJo Sports Talk Show, Big Trust. Let's get it.
Peace. Deuces.
Hold on, let me end it.